Today we will discuss about project management. Let us first start with the definition. Project management is the practice of initiation or initiating, planning, executing or execution, controlling and closing the work of a team to achieve specific goals and meet specific success criteria at the specified time. Now, this definition includes practice of initiation, planning, execution, controlling, and closing, and then a team, then specific goals, then specific success criteria, and specific time. So, we'll discuss all these factors. Now, further, we'll talk about challenges and constraints. The primary challenge of project management is to achieve all the project goals within the given constraints. In fact, constraints are many that also we'll discuss. The primary constraints are defining scope, time, quality, and budget. Now, these constraints are basically uh, pre-construction constraints. The secondary and more ambitious challenge is to optimize the allocation of necessary inputs and apply them to meet predefined objectives, that is during execution or construction of the project. Now I will not go in various softwares or various uh, project management tools like CPM, PERT, WBS and all those things, or MS Project or Primavera, etc., or BIM, etc. We'll just talk in general about the project management. Now, project management may have various steps. This may have various activities, then various constraints, and then we have management tools, we have management risks, we have management softwares, and so on. So let us discuss some of these tools. We saw in the definition part that it defines a team. Now, team itself is a constant of the project management. Let me tell you, there may be no single project management team, particularly in government projects, even private, which continues for full time. A team may change more often, right from the beginning to the end. So there are different teams, in fact, in practice. It's not the team, rather there are different and various teams. Every team or individual may have different goals. That is another issue, because we know that project management should have specified goals, but every team and even individual may have different goals. So they create the classes. Then every team or everyone may have different meaning of time. Even we have seen in the definition that time is also factor, but this what is the meaning of time, that also varies with the team or with the individual. Now let's talk success about the project management. Now we say that completion of the project is success, so then in time, cost, and as per the scope and quality. And all of the above depend upon project management of all the stages. There are different stages in the project management. It's not only one stage, rather broadly if we say, then this is stage number one, that is pre-construction stage, and one second we can say execution stage, and third we can say post-construction stage. So there are different stages. Then many times success of the project is measured from completion, from its completion. And once the project is inaugurated, or this is opened for the functioning, then we say that project is successful. But it is not as per the definition. Now, as I have discussed, let us see the stages of the project management broadly. Then the project stages may be project management now accordingly is to be done. So project management during pre-construction stage, that is initiation and planning. Second stage will be project management during construction stage, that is executing and controlling. And third will be project management during post-construction stage, that is closing and accounting. Now let us see stakeholders in various stages of project management. If we see the pre-construction stage, then owner is there, then finance section will be there, ministry or the sanctioning authority will be there, and so on. Because the project is being initiated, so whoever who are coming in that process, they are the stakeholders there. Then once the project is approved, that this work is to be done, then architects will be coming or consultant, then local bodies who are to approve the drawings, and different approvals are to be given. Then owner again, and then again finance will come, then ministry again will come for sanctioning and all that, and then engineer will also come, engineers will come. So these are the stakeholders of pre-construction stage. Now look for the teams that and then the construction stage. Then during construction stage, PMC will come, then project manager will come, and consultants will come, contractors will come, quality assurance team, and so on. Now that I have jotted down PMC and project manager different because PMC may involve right from the marketing to bosses, everyone, but project manager or his small group is only project manager team. So PMC I'll consider different and project manager different, but though project manager is part of the PMC. Now then post construction stage means for project manager, contractor, owner, local bodies again, because final approval will be given by local bodies, then occupants, finance, arbitrators, legal authorities, and so on if there are. Now let us see the time. Now pre-construction stage requires a time, and this is time taken in initiation of the proposal, time taken in approval of the proposal, then time taken by consultants and architects for preparation of drawings, approval of drawings from the local bodies, and then time taken in planning, that is estimation and all those things, and tender documents, designing, tendering, etc. So these are all, these activities are, we know that this is a pre-construction stage. This itself requires the time. Now construction stage means time taken as per the contract. So this contractor will be there, so time considering the hindrances, including budget constraints, actual time of construction will be different, may be different, rather it is mostly different from the time taken in the contract. So this is the time for construction stage. In post construction stage, time taken in final bill preparation, time taken in finalization of accounts, time taken in getting occupancy certificate from the local bodies, time taken in litigation, time taken in getting revised sanction, etc., etc. And this there may be overlapping of some of the activities. So this is time required in post construction stage. Now when we were talking about the time, it means time we are talking from time taken, time from the initiation to the final closure. So this is the time for different stages. And then success is considered based on the time taken as in the preliminary estimate or sanction. It's not from time taken in initiation or time taken in sometime even in approval. So then normally PMC is giving commitment for the completion of the work. So that time is only what time is taken in the preliminary estimate or sanction, that is considered the time as the reference point. Now let us consider the cost. Now cost in initiation of proposal, that is there, that is not been included here. Then cost of the consultancy in preparation of drawings, designs, and all those things. Then cost of supervision, PMC charges, cost of construction. Then work may have cost of deviations not included in sanction, then escalation, litigation, etc. So this will be total cost like that, and success is considered again with respect to cost as per the preliminary estimate. It means if the work has been completed, within the cost mentioned in preliminary estimate or sanction cost, then this project is considered a successful project from the cost criteria. Now let us see the objectives. Now objectives of the project management is to produce a complete project, not completed, complete project which complies with the client's scope, requirements, that is needs and objectives. Now scope means the provisions and boundaries described in preliminary estimate again and the sanction. This is a standard which is taken. But sometimes the client or the owner may not get satisfied with this scope, but still for PMC this is the scope. Now for the owner this may be stated and implied needs which he requires from the project. So that is scope for him. So it means stated and implied needs and design features and functions, because functions are important for him as per the needs. So for him this is the scope. So there is a variation in both requirements and needs. Now requirements are spelled out by the client or by the owner during preparation of preliminary estimate, and they are reflected in terms of the drawings by the architect. But there are requirements which are cropped up during execution, and then they are to be included during execution period. So what happens that the owner or the client may not be able to indicate all the requirements or needs during the time when he is spelling out the requirement to the architect or consultant or engineer. Now when the work is executed, the requirements get cropped up, and if we are not satisfying those requirements, then objective is not fulfilled. But there will be deviation. The deviation means in time, in cost, everything. So that is again the constraint of the project manager. So it means success is considered by the owner based on the fulfillment of final requirements and functions. Final requirement means finally what he gets, not with respect to the requirements he has spelled out during preparation of preliminary estimate. And then architect consider success based on aesthetics of the building. If building looks very good, then he may say that my project is very good. So he feels it is successful. Now project manager considers completion of project as the success. Once it is completed, he feels that it is success. He is succeeded. It is successful project. Now objectives of all stakeholders may be different. That may be the problem, because the object of project is different rather than the stakeholders who are there in the project. So if they are not same, then the problem may arise. So there is objective of the client, there are objective of the consultant, there are objective of PMC, there are objective of the contractor, but main important is objective of the project. So in case fulfilling objective of the project is the objective of owner, client, consultant, PMC and contractor. Very few project management cases are such, but that will be successful, and such projects are successful. Project is completed in time, within sanctioned cost and as per quality and needs. No time overrun, no cost overrun and no compromise of quality, fulfilling the needs of the owner. Now project manager. We have been talking about the project manager. So project manager is considered responsible for the success, who may not even be responsible for all the activities at all the stages. So still, because project manager the person who is finally handing over the project to the owner, that's why he is considered responsible for everything. Now main stakeholders of the project management may be jotted down as project manager and project management agency, because it is the project management agency or consultant who have taken the work from the owner, and then later on they might have appointed some particular person as project manager who was not initially there or maybe initially there. Then project consultants, they may be different from project managers and generally are. And then project owner or employer and the contractor. Now let us examine an unsuccessful project. Then in an unsuccessful project, blame game indicates the following in general. It is due to project manager and project management agency. So unsuccess is or failure of the project is told that it is the responsibility of the project manager and PMC or project management consultant PMC. It is due to owner. Then project management managers may say that it is due to owner because budget has not been provided or decision have not been given in time or so much variation has been got done and all those things. It is due to consultants. Somebody may say it is due to consultant again, and then somebody may say it is due to contractor or contractors. Now every single statement may be right, but lacks team spirit. But in general, as success is due to everyone involved, so also unsuccess is also there, so failure is also there. In fact, if you analyze any one project, then if the project has not been completed successfully, then everybody there, it is project manager, owner, consultant and contractors may be responsible. Now leader of the team. So who should lead the team? That is the question. Someone has to lead to or adopt proactive approach for success. It may be project manager, owner, or consultant. These are three, and contractor is there. Four stakeholders mainly. But so for leading, well, let us talk about project manager, owner, or consultant. Consultant may not have this responsibility and may not be in his scope, so he is out. Now it is only project manager or owner. Now owner he says that I'm not responsible. I have appointed PMC or project manager, so he is responsible. Now ultimately it is the responsibility which is coming on project manager. So project manager actually should lead the project, and contractor, which is hidden authority, even not leading, then he's also there. This should be included in the team. So team should include everyone, but for the construction activities, for the leading, for the technical things, project manager should lead the project. Now leader has to take care of time. Time means what? Time means the time is specified in the preliminary estimate as we have discussed or sanctioned. For contractor, time means stipulated time in the contract. He doesn't bother about time mentioned in PE. Consultant do not talk about the time as they feel that they are always ready with the required details and delays due to others, so they will not talk about the time. But then again, project manager has to take care of this. Then project manager talks about delays from everyone else and even from his organization sometimes, that I have not been given this power, that power, something like that, or authority. Presently, owner has to spend extra time in finding out where the things are going wrong in present circumstances in many projects. So this should be stopped. Rather, responsibility and the project manager should come forward and take this lead. Time repercussions: if project manager is to appoint the consultant, he will invite the bids. Till the consultant is on the board, project manager cannot even invite the tenders. What to talk to start the work. So then owner will become uncomfortable as he has nothing to show to others even after the work has been sanctioned, and he may be under pressure to commence the work. And this may lead to tussle between the project manager and owner. Then what should be done? So though there may be no solution sometimes, but the following may be tried. While consultant bids under the process are there, then better interact with the owner for finalizing the requirements and even broad specifications which are part of the preliminary estimate. These requirements will have to be passed on to the consultant when he is appointed later, and we can start, or project manager can start some activities in which owner is also required to be engaged. So it is important that communication is with the owner and he is also engaged in the process. Appointment of consultant: normally owner sometimes feels that I should appoint the consultant because I want unique project, world class building and so on. Then the consultant may feel that he is responsible to the owner, and then when a project manager there, he interacts with the consultant, then there may be some uh, miscommunication. So better that project manager is given chance to appoint the consultant, or uh, if owner wants, then it is the authority owner. So appointment consultant, though it is better that a project manager is in charge of all the activities, but let the owner take a call. And if owner is appointing the consultant, the project manager and the owner, project manager should not feel bad. Rather, he should cooperate with the owner, and then there should be there should be cooperation between owner and the project manager, so that consultant feel that he is part of the team. Then goals of the project management with uniqueness. When somebody says unique, it means project timely to be completed, project to be completed within budget earmarked or allotted, project has to be of best quality, of world standard, international standards, project has to be green, project has to follow safety standards, quality standards, and must conform to the functional requirement, and so on. Now, what should be done? Consultant should give all the working drawings, details, and specifications before start of the work to the project manager for success of the project. This is very important. Most of the times, all the drawings in the country are not given, and that creates the problem, delays, and time over and cost over. So, and then even detailed estimate will not be proper, and then there may be deviation, large deviation. So consultant should give all the working drawings, details, and specifications right before start of the work, based on which detailed estimate and tender documents are prepared. These should be approved by the owner. Owner should have broad understanding about the project details, items, and costs to have an idea whether his requirements are being fulfilled or not. Because you see, he may be the layman, he doesn't understand drawings. So it is the responsibility of the consultant and project manager that he is giving insight of the drawings to the owner. So whatever is required by the owner for functional requirement and otherwise also, those are indicated in the drawings. So that is a teamwork. So for the same, he may have meetings and involve departments heads also in the process. Then PMC or project manager should not indicate unrealistic time required in completion of the project. Sometimes what happens is that PMC just agrees or just tells proactively that the work can be done in so much time, though internally he knows that is not possible. So such unrealistic time should not be projected to the owner. Communication and coordination are very vital in project management. Project manager must have communication with the owner as well as with the consultant timely and for the project update. So if the project manager is not communicating to both, then there will be problems. Communication regarding variation with both the owner and consultant is also important. Project manager must go through architectural, structural, MEP and service drawing when during the preparation of detailed estimate or tender document. And they should be compatible to avoid delays and variation during execution. In fact, delays are mostly due to variation which are cropped up during execution, or decisions which we are not able to give. So these two should be avoided, because nowadays no materials are stipulated in the contracts. So variations and drawings, delay in drawings, issue of the drawing should be avoided. That should not be there. Project manager and consultant should explain details in layman terms to the owner. Project manager should explain major brands of the products being stipulated in the tender document to the owner and consultant. So if there is any variation or some time, suppose the owner is not happy with that one, so this will be replaced in the tender document itself at that stage. Now, another stakeholder is the contractor, and contractor is very vital stakeholder in a project management. If good contractor is not there, then project management will fail. So, contractor role is very vital in the project management, even though he does not lead the project. Selection criteria has to be explained by PMC or project manager to the owner. so that he is involved in the process. In fact, involvement of the owner is very important, particularly in pre-construction stage, so that there are minimum variation or deviations during construction. In case selection process involve committees recommendations, then project manager should include a member from the owner also. Then tender document must be prepared thoroughly, and there should be no ambiguity in the tender document. Inadequate provisions or detailing in tender documents cannot make project successful. Duplicate or ambiguous provisions also make project unsuccessful. Incompatible provisions with respect to architectural or structural MEP drawings may also be the reasons for unsuccess. Compatibility of services may also lead to delays, cost overrun, and disputes, making project unsuccessful. Provisions of testing requirements should also be compatible. Suppose in one provision we are making the provision that ISI materials are to be used, and second place we write that it will be tested. Now it will take a lot of time to test all the materials. So one must be very sure what he wants and what testing is required and what frequency is required. Those should be specified and it should be compatible in the tender document. A good tender document is the key of success of project management. In multiple contracts, if multiple contracts are proposed, then they should be all be compatible. However, efforts should be made to invite least number of tenders, preferably one, because more the number of contractors, more problems of the coordination, more problems of the blames on each other. Then in tender documents, qualification criteria of contractors should be clear. Strict financial criteria for bidders should be there. Strict quality criteria should be there. Drawing should be part of the tender document, as I have already told. Welfare and safety measures of workers and time-bound third-party dispute redressal mechanism also is able to solve disputes during progress, so that disputes do not go to the end and and also during post construction. Then budget availability in time is the responsibility of the owner. He should see that budget is available. Then project management during execution, let's talk. Then if packages are there, number of contracts are there, then that is one. Then contract management itself is a separate subject, which is a bigger one. Then coordination is to be seen. Progress, quality, and budget is to be seen, monitored. Deviations, as far as possible, deviations should be minimum to avoid cost overrun and time overrun and delays. Payment should be on time. There should be no hindrances because of delays or decisions or anything for successful of the project, and budget should be made available in time. Now, contract management and contractor management, these are two different subjects. So it should be the responsibility of project manager to manage contract and contractor. It means project manager should do the contract management as per the contract entered between the contractor and himself, and the contractor management should also be done by the project manager. Contract management is left over the project manager, as we know in general, and that is the right approach. Owner and consultant should not manage the contract. If anything is there, it should be through project manager. In few cases, contractor management is done by the owner, consultant, project manager, and even the superiors of project manager, which should be avoided for success of the project. So, if the instructions are passed on by the owner to the contractor, instructions are passed on to the contractor by the consultant, instructions are passed on by the project manager who is in charge, and then instructions are passed on by the superiors of the project manager to the contractor. Then contractor will listen to everyone and obey to him, we don't know, and then he will say this was told by the owner, this was told by the consultant, this was told by XYZ, and so on. And then if contractor is not managed, contract will not be managed, and it will be create just failure of the project. So it is the best thing that project manager let project manager be involved in contract management and contractor management, and then or only occasional advice or support should be extended to project manager by the authorities and the contractor. So occasional advice and support is good by the owner, by the consultant, by the bosses of the project manager, but in general this management should be given to project manager. Let project manager manage the contractor and contractor. Now, contract management involves everything: contractor, client, local bodies, workers, vendors, quality managers, vigilance, audit, time, budget, measurement, payment, material testing, process, and so on. So these all things are part of the contract, and project manager is supposed to do it. So he should be able to do it. That is also important. So right person is required for the contract management. Technically, he should be highly qualified, and then we'll see what else is required for him. Now, as we have seen, what should be the responsibility of project manager? So without the right people in the right place and right time, project cannot be successful. Project manager should work as a leader and trained. He should be trained in technical and behavioral leadership styles. And then one thing is also important, that project manager should not show ego. He should not show ego. He should consider project as the prime objective, and then he will have to talk to everyone proactively, whether owner or consultant or contractor or anybody else who is required to be talked or who is required to be approached. So project manager should not show ego, otherwise this project will not be successful. Then project manager should have a good team. Then project manager has to manage cost, time and scope of the work and additional constraints. Consultants, contractors and owner itself, including his superior engineer. So that is the requirement of a good project manager. A project manager has to develop good relations with owner so that he works as the representative of the owner. That is important. Has to understand the owner's requirement and implement the exact needs of the client for the success of the project based on the knowledge of the organization he is representing. The ability to adapt to the various internal procedures of the contracting party and to form close links with the nominated representative is essential in ensuring the key issues of the cost, time, quality and above all client satisfaction. So that this project manager has large responsibilities, and he is in fact representing the owner, and then he is also the link between the consultant and contractor. So he is basically the representative of the consultant also. So and then he's getting the work done through contractor, so he in fact he is responsible for that also. So he is the key person, so he should be master of everything. So project management is successful if the given project is completed within the agreed time, has met the scope and quality, and within the budget. This is as per definition. A project is said to be successful if owner, consultant, contractors and project manager including his PMC all are satisfied. If they are all happy, it means project is successful. It is easy to discuss everything what we have discussed, friends, but actually project manager needs theoretical knowledge, both technical and behavioral. That is important. Coordination without ego, bold decisions and self experience for the success. Because if he does not have the experience, then it is really difficult, and that's why he has the most responsible person is the project manager in project management, and if success is there, he is considered a successful project manager, otherwise not. So it depends on the project manager who carries out the project. Thank you very much. I am KM Soni at Repercussions. Thanks a lot.